Welcome to the IAM Talitha Cumi show on Vegas Hype Media, and thanks for joining us. And remember, you can catch us here every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. on our Food for the Soul Media Group FB page and on Vegas Hype Media's FB page and YouTube station and the Mixler app for those of you who just may want to listen to us live. Shout out to Quan on the ones and twos, keeping us looking and sounding right. And shout out to my baby, Big Bobby B, in our chat room right now. So you guys tap in, say what's up. And my disclaimer, as always, these are my opinions, not fact, just my opinions. And some of the opinions of our guests are not always the opinions of the IAM Talitha Cumi show, Food for the Soul Media Group, or Vegas Hype Media. And if you guys want to weigh in, leave us a comment in the chat room on YouTube or in the comments on our FB page. And if you guys are tuning in on our FB page, please follow me and like my page and share it. And if you're watching us live on Vegas Hype Media, the YouTube station, don't forget to go to our Food for the Soul Media Group YouTube station right now. Hit that subscribe button for me. And also go to my Instagram. Follow me on there at Food for the Soul Media Group and IAM Talitha _Cumi. Are you a barber or a hairstylist? Do you want to get crisp lines after cuts? Do you want to have some great protection for your hair units and weaves? Give Crisp products a try and go to www.crisproduts.com by Mook the Barber, you guys. So we're looking for sponsors and donors to help keep our show a priority in bringing you great news, good discussions, and great guests. And we need you. So if you're looking to be a guest or promote your business with us, go to foodforthesoulpresents@gmail.com. Email us, or you can hit us up on Facebook, excuse me, and talk to us, and we can see about getting you on. So today, we have a very, very, very special treat, you guys. I've been trying to do this for a while, and it finally came to fruition, so I'm so excited about it. It's Fourth Fridays, y'all, and I'm calling it the Gumbo Mix because I have some amazing ladies co-hosting with me tonight that you need to know. So help me shout out Solid Truth in the building.
Hey.
We got Kay in the building. And we got Miss Love Doctor. I spelled your name wrong. Mizzy.
That's right.
Love Doctor.
Hey,
Tasha Keyzz.
So, I know that I was supposed to bring something, and sometimes it's hard to capture what you really want to talk about. But
Yeah.
when I got a hold of these two memes,
Okay.
they resonated. I think they probably resonate with more people than not.
Okay.
But it basically, the first one said, and it flows into the second one. Okay.
Okay.
So it says, you think, and it says her, but I'm going to change it because in my line of business, I'm human based. I'm not about one gender, one nothing. So you think that you've seen them naked because they took off their clothes. Tell me about their dream. Tell me what breaks their heart. What are they passionate about? What makes them cry? Tell me about your childhood. Better yet, tell me a story that that I'm not in. You've seen this person's skin, you've touched their body, but you know so much about them. It's just like a book that you once found, but you never got around to even opening it. So when I read that, I was like, how many times are we getting ourselves into an intimate situation with people who don't know us or have the desire to know us fully?
Yeah.
Right. So I posted this one the other day. That's why when actually my cousin gave me that one, I was like, this goes hand in hand. Everyone you meet always asks you, do you have a career? Are you married? Do you have children? Do you own a house? What's your credit score? But how often is people asking you, are you happy? And it just made me think, I am a restoration life coach. I'm a certified love coach. I'm a essential relationship coach. So me building people to be at a more happier state, isn't so embedded in me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because at the beginning and the end of the day, if we're not happy with ourselves, we don't know who we are. Where are we? What are we doing? Right? So you said this is about the knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how often are we truly getting to know someone on a deeper, intimate level? Or do we even care to, is this even something that somebody even wants to do, or they just basically want that intimate, moment with you, but they don't realize that it can create soul ties and different things like that. You can literally impregnate someone and not know their whole entire name. You calling them Bun Bun off of Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So we're so literally trained to fact check people, but you're only checking like the marital status, the income status, their credit status, but we never check their emotional status, their spiritual status, their mental status. And where's their love meter? Like, where are they at on the love status? Like, do they want love? Do they care about love? Do they know what love is? What does love mean to them? You jump into this situation, then all you like, I don't know why it ain't working, But we're focused on what can a person add to me, right? Materially. What can you add to me? What can they give me, But I'm thinking about what can you add to me as the human?
Okay, Janet Jackson.
Me and Janet grew up together. So, so when you're asked, like, what do you bring to the table? Like, that's the one question that grinds my gears, because at this point in time in life, at our age, I'm going to just speak on our level. I'm not going to talk about no teens or anything. But when you ask somebody, what do they bring to the table? You bringing a whole damn house. I'm already showing up with a house because I got to live somewhere.
Okay.
So we're talking about the table. What are you bringing for the nutrition for the soul?
Yes.
What are we really eating here?
That part.
What's for dinner? You know what I'm saying? When we sit down at this table, we can make it a royal table. You put your table with my table. Now we got a big table. We can sit a lot of people with this table, and we can eat. We can feast. But what are we really feasting on? Right?
Yeah.
But when it was asked, the first things first is like, how do you go about knowing exactly who you are and what you require? Right? So if somebody even asks you all these questions like, hey, so, what do you dream about? What do you cry about? Are you vulnerable enough to even let that part of you out?
Yeah.
Are you, where are you at with that? So if you don't love yourself properly, I think that's the main question. Let me back it up a little bit. We're asking all these questions, but are we ever asking, how do you love yourself? Because if you're not loving yourself properly, or even know how to, because we have to give people grace. Everybody doesn't know and everybody wasn't taught. But if you're not even trying to learn how to love yourself, you're probably not going to give a shit about trying to love me properly. At least the way I need you to love me. You probably can love me the best of your ability, but how are you loving me and pouring into me and not feeling like you're being it's selflessly? Like, I want to feed you, because if we're both healthy, we good to go, So I know there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear. And I don't know how many people can attest to that, but with fear, we're all afraid of kind of letting somebody in, letting somebody see all of you, pulling down those guards, because, we don't want to get hurt. We don't want to get hurt. And I think a lot of times when you are put into a position, do this person truly want to get to know me anyway? Or is this their representative trying to get to their own personal goal? Because sometimes people have their own, agenda. And it's like, if we could just be adults about the situation, you let me know your agenda. It probably could match my agenda, and then we could keep it pushing, right? But you want to tell me something that you think that I want to hear because you have a hidden agenda, because you can't be honest with yourself most times, right? So that makes people a little fearful. And once again, people don't want to get hurt. Like, I tell people all the time, at my age, I don't hurt my feelings. I'm too old to be saying like my feelings are hurt. Like, we at the age where we still hurting people's feelings. You know how it feel. So why would you project that to someone else, right? And that brings me to vulnerability. Being closed off. When you've been hurt, sometimes you just close that thing off, not letting anybody in. It's protected, unprotected me. This is where we are. This is where we're going to be. And, you think you ready to date, but no, you closed off. That's me. I'm speaking for self. And do we want to truly know somebody? Like, when you start to date and you start to question people, how deep are you asking them these questions? Or are you afraid that they may not even want to, like, girl, like, dang, you a little deep on the first date, you know? Well, I'm trying to get to know you. But then it's frowned upon when you don't try to immediately get to know them. Like, oh, you must not be interested. You must not be feeling me. Like, no, that's not the case. I don't want to step on your toes. I don't want to be too pushy when you don't want to be pushed. I want to have that equal, fluid balance of us trying to know each other on the same level at all times. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it can be a little bit different. I understand that. So then we get to sharing, right? So how often do we ask the person, like, hey, how's your mental health? How's your heart health? How you doing? You hurting about anything? Are you grieving about anything? Do you need to talk about it? Do you need to cry about anything? Like, sometimes we stay away from those topics because, for one, you don't want to trigger them. If they're having a great day, you're like, whoa, I don't want to hit that switch, and now they're having a bad day. Mm-hmm. But sometimes that's that one thing that we stay away from. But I think when you really want to get to know somebody on a deeper level, you really want to know how their mental health is, because you care about how their mental health is. You want to help them if they're having issues with their mental health. You want to be there. You want to support them. So, And how do you feel currently? Like, 'cause I could have asked you how you felt this morning. I could have asked you how you felt last week. But how are you feeling currently? Because a whole lot of things could have happened within the last 3 hours. And your emotions are all over the place, and you really, really need a hug, or you really, really need an ear, you know? Asking them, are you happy? Are you happy? And a lot of times people were like, yeah, you know, like the main thing I always say is, what do we say? Hey, girl, how you doing? And they be like, I'm good, I'm fine. But we're programmed to say that. Underneath you in my head, like, if I told you, you know, they always say, if I told you, you wouldn't want to hear it, but that's not true for everybody. That's not true. If I'm asking you how you doing, I'm serious. I really want to know how you're doing and knowing you as yourself, because sometimes once I get to know you in a relationship, no matter if we're friends, if we're family, if we are romantic, I get to know you. Sometimes I can look at you, I can feel your energy and know that it's off.
Yeah.
So now I just need to know, how can I be supportive to you? So with that, I'm just thinking the knowledge of self and us wanting to get to know ourselves on a deeper level allow us to figure out what level we're on of allowing someone else in to get to know us on that deeper level as well. Now, the question that I have for you ladies, or did you want to comment on that?
Mm-mm. No, I was just saying I can get with that.
The question that I have for you ladies is, who did you see yourself being when you were younger but who are you now? And any one of y'all can take it. I really wanted all of y'all to answer it, but Kay, you got that face.
Wow. Well, you know, growing up, I saw myself being so many things because I was exposed to so many things. I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be a nurse. I wanted to be a doctor. At different phases in my life, I wanted to be different things, but life happened. And you hit on something just a few moments ago in regards to being able to identify with who you are. And when I tried to find a pathway into doing those things, I wasn't happy because I felt like, oh, I want to be a doctor because this is what they want. Or I want to be a nurse because my mom was a nurse. You know, I had to find out who I was. So I'm not who I thought I wanted to be, but I am who I am, and I love who I am because everything that I've done and everything that I've experienced and everything that I've learned is part of making me the woman that I am today, where I can open up and give back to people. And a lot of people, like, I hear what you're saying about you truly want to know how people are. You seem like a lot of people don't know how to take that because they are not used to genuine concern. And the reason why they're not used to genuine concern because they don't have a real love language. I want my friends to love me like this. I want my man to love me like that. I want my family to love me in this way. If you don't have a definite love language and you are just setting these standards on who you are and what you want to be based upon what you feel like society wants, then you'll never know who you are. So to answer your question, I wanted to be everything, and I am everything that I wanted to be because all of that is in me, and I haven't gotten to where I'm supposed to be because it only gets better as I grow older. It only gets better. I have everything that I've learned in the past has compounded in each area of my life. I've been able to pull some of those resources, some of those strengths from the things that I learned back long as I was growing up and growing into an adulthood. I can use all of that and have a foundation for today. Yeah.
You killed that.
I can't even go after that. I don't even want to. For me, it was just when I was younger, I wanted to be a model, which was, really weird because I don't like people looking at me. I don't like people staring at me. But I wanted to be a model, and I saw myself living in this big old condo or house with all of my best friends, and then we all ended up getting married, but we all stayed in the house together. I was weird like that. I love that. And so now, I almost have that, except we don't live in the same house. But I've gotten into the fashion world, realized that I don't want to be a model, so that's out. And I'm more gifted with my my knowledge and my speech, and so I'm doing a lot more things that are speaking. I've been writing and directing for over 30 years, and so I used to do that when I was younger, though. So it just kind of ran into my adult life, and now that I'm married, I do have friends where we could actually, we all came up together in the 90s. And then we all eventually got married, and we still have like, why did I get married types of trips and stuff like that or whatever. So I can say that I'm kind of similar to what I wanted.
And see,
I believe
that's something I don't have because I was always helping the underdog. I was always supporting someone, and even in my career today, I help the underdog. Utilizing community resources to make sure someone else is okay. I try to make sure other people are okay. Yes.
Yep.
It's crazy because that question really kind of touched me. When I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a performing artist. I always wanted to be on stage and be in plays, and I would make up these little dances in the living room and make all my cousins be a part of the show. And I was always making up like videos for songs and things like that. So I think as a little girl, I always wanted to be an entertainer. And then something happened and I just outgrew it. And just about, I'll say maybe about 15, 16, almost 17 years ago to the day, I decided that I was going to go after my dreams and do what I wanted to do. And then I decided that it was really hard and I had to learn a lot more about business. So it was pretty cool that I was, already kind of business inclined. But yeah, that's I guess it's full circle now.
Right?
Yeah. We wanted to be
Thelma
from Good Times.
Full circle.
Thelma.
Full circle. Well, on that note, you guys, we are going to take a short commercial break, and we will be right back. That's Southeast High School right there. Over there. Daddy's old school where he got kicked out of for fighting 2 streets over on 58th and South Benton. That's where he lived. He didn't know how he was going to pay the bill. Brother, what an awesome... And the jukebox. So me and Lonnie would just play the jukebox. So that...
I hope most of all people take away truth and understanding, just a better understanding, self-awareness, all of that. It's all going to be in this documentary. There's going to be an awakening from this documentary.
I mean, I don't know what, he probably did this in Kansas City. I'm sure he did this in California. But what he did in Dallas, Texas, it means the world to so many.
I'm hoping that people will see that he's human. You know, I looked at him as Superman, basically, but at the end of the day, he was human. He's a phenomenal person. That was his heart. That was his heart. That's why so many people loved and respected him.
I think people will get a better idea or a close-up into a man that was extremely dedicated to the purpose that God had on his life.
I think they'll be able to see his heart, who he was as a person, the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Bolden, and organically, just who he was as a person.
So hope y'all put his life in there so they can really get in there and understand the process of Willie J. Bolden. He can hold your secrets too. Hell man. You for sure hell man.
Back. If you just joined us, thank you for tuning in to the IAM Talitha Cumi show on Food for the Soul Media Group and Vegas Hype Media. Let's get into the next discussion.
I'm Mizzy Deep. I'm a business and finance consultant, but one of my passions is affordable housing. So I read recently an article about a situation in St. Louis where a housing complex is asking the tenants to leave within the next 30 days. Wow. And on day 31, they will be arrested. So I did some fishing. I did find out that the apartment itself is dealing with eminent domain.
Okay.
That it has been some changeover in management. In fact, the tenants they have low class. They're in low class, maybe affordable living. So the rent could possibly be pretty low as we know it. And with the economy, things have changed drastically and rent is very different.
Yeah.
So my segment is really about tenant and landlord relationships and management.
Okay.
And so one of the things that I noticed is that the apartment itself is dilapidated, is very ran down. There's rodents, there's holes in the walls. There's a lot of repairs that's needed. Mm-hmm. But these tenants have been living in this condition. Mm-hmm. So it's trashed. I think I did a little bit of surveying and found out that in some situations, trash hadn't been picking up. Maybe there was some squatters in the building and things like that. So there's no argument about the tenants needing to leave. However, they've only been given 30 days with a $500 stipend.
Wow.
And you guys know there's no way that can happen in 30 days.
I was about to say, where are you going?
Yeah, exactly.
With $500.
You
can't even stay at an extended stay for $500.
Correct. I mean, let's face it, you can barely rent a truck for $500 and get your things moved. So deposit, first month rent, and if there's any challenges of credit or income or anything like that, then we even have a bigger problem. Mm-hmm. And this is not just a crisis happening in St. Louis. As we know, this has happened in several major cities around the U.S. So what could they have done better, right? I definitely think that they needed more time to make that decision, more notice. I don't like the harsh delivery on day 31 that they would be arrested, right? And I also think that the stipend should have been greater, with maybe even some social services being involved to give them some housing, assistance and things of that nature. And this is something that those tenants are not currently really dealing with, as I mentioned before.
Were there any organizations stepping out to help them with like a stay of eviction or, possibly because they have to move, so they don't really have
no government sponsorship like CHAP or
no government assistance other than I believe St. Louis, one of the organizations there did give them the $500 stipend. I don't even think that came from the higher up. So when I did also do some research, I did find out that maybe the current owner is dealing with a bankruptcy. Okay. So maybe not even had much contact. And one of the tenants did mention that they have been indeed paying rent. So even for that, right? So even with that rent that just went out, and then in 30 days that turnover. So even if they did have it, they've already sent out that rent. They don't even know who they've been sending rent to even know if it's being collected, where they can get it back. So this is
a really serious
And
crisis.
so they have no way around. Like there's no way to sue or anything like that. Nothing.
They don't have the resources to sue. I mean, this we're dealing with. If they've been living in those conditions, then we can only imagine what kind of income, you know, what, you know, if they had the resources to do anything different, they would have left.
And if it's eminent domain, there's nothing they can do.
There's nothing they can do.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, let's hope some organizations or some
Right, because St.
nonprofits
Louis-
step in, because like I said, it's not much different here in Las Vegas with the weeklies being full of people with, where we live, you might see a boat in the parking lot, you might see a Corvette with a cover over it. I mean, these people are moving in droves and thinking, okay, well, we have how. I was like, it's not affordable. I mean, you really need to really think up another strategy, because it's just, it has changed so much in 3 years.
This is really a crisis. I don't really think that enough light is being shed on the affordable housing situation. People are just not making that 3 times a rent. We're looking at one bedrooms being
ridiculous.
$1,400.
That's ridiculous.
But they extended the CARES program.
Well,
They supposedly extended that in order to help people make ends meet until they got to a place where they could
I know so many people that are struggling with, you know, with the housing. As I mentioned, not just in St. Louis, but in several. This is a big issue. It's a crisis. And honestly, it was a crisis before the pandemic. It's just gotten worse. Because as you guys know, remember when we grew up, there were always projects or different
Section A
Yeah,
and stuff like
absolutely.
that.
And all those programs have, over the years, have not had as much funding, have not been as supportive.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
they've
that,
changed.
Took that
they-
funding away.
Exactly.
They've
They've even tore down some of that development and rerouted people and things of that nature. So we have really dealt with, you know, a lot of displacement when it comes down to affordable housing and people not being able to really get the resources they need to get into affordable housing. And this is an essential need, may I add.
Essential.
Essential.
Or we're homeless.
Absolutely. Or we're homeless. Mm-hmm.
And what they could have done better, to me, even in that situation, you give them 30 days, then they're not paying rent on the 1st. So whatever your 30-day cap, whatever it was, that next month, like, hey, you guys don't pay your rent. Use that to make sure that you can find somewhere. Then the other company, we're going to give you this $500 and hopefully y'all can figure it out. But I'm going to charge you rent and then I'm still going to kick you out. What the hell?
Absolutely. And then I also want to add
And then
one
if
more
they don't
little
pay the
piece.
rent, they'll have an eviction.
And, well, they're saying on day 31, they're also threatening arrest.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Which is crazy. But then let's think about those that's not even just have maybe an income issue or a credit issue, but they may have a health issue.
Yes.
And not be able to have the
or
resources.
any family support,
Or absolutely.
anything. They don't have anywhere else to go. Which
Exactly.
is why they're living there in the first place. So
Exactly.
Very sad.
That's very sad.
Oh my God. I was thinking about pastors and churches and different things like that. And I'm always, bringing that up. But I wanted to know, do you think that pastors or Christian artists what do you think about them becoming celebrities? Like, it seems like it's a contradiction. If their whole purpose is to point us to God, then, them becoming a celebrity seems like it's going somewhere else to me.
I think that there's probably some bias because of what we've been taught.
Okay.
I do come from a church background, and my grandparents were very, very strict about it, which is the reason I never pursued a career in the arts. Or I love to sing, I love to dance, I wanted to do plays, I wanted to act, but my grandmother strictly forbid it. So I snuck around the house and did those things. So for me, I grew up thinking that it's ego and it's a haughtiness to be able to want attention for your gift.
Okay.
But as I gained my own relationship with God, and as I said last week, I'm a child of God, and I am a representative of the light that I think we all have within us. And if people resonate with that light, you're going to become popular. So for me, I think it's more just standing in your truth and being authentic. We're all on a journey. We're all growing. And if you happen to have some celebrity and stardom and a lot of attention in the meantime, just remember you are a child of God, and who you're representing. Who is it that gave you that power? And if you always remember that, then you kind of have to have some thick skin.
Yeah.
When people come back and say, you're supposed to be, but I'm supposed to also spread the word.
Right.
And if I'm spreading the word and I'm speaking my truth and I'm also being gracious, because I'm not God, I'm a child of God, I'm a representative of God, I'm speaking on my behalf from a human standpoint.
Right.
I think that, for me, it's I think that pastors and church members and gospel singers can become celebrities, but again, they're still human. We really have to go back to the conversation we had last week when we defined celebrity. People are human. We are excellence and perfection in the making. In the making, we were designed to achieve excellence and perfection so that we can represent God's nature in the universe, just like a plant, just like the ocean, just like a fish, but they don't judge themselves the way we do. So that's fine.
Thank you for having me on the show. I wanted to introduce myself, talk about my companies. You gave a brief introduction, but my passion, I am an accountant by trade, certified public accountant. Just passed the just got my license maybe a couple months ago.
Yay.
I've been an enrolled agent accounting degree, but my company is downtown.
Okay.
We've been downtown for about 13 years. And started off, we do taxes. We help people clean up their stuff.
Okay.
Right. And we do it in a loving and friendly way. So people, when you get those IRS notices, I know we've gotten them before. People don't want to open them. You get scared.
Where were you?
I don't know. Where was I?
Where were you when I was looking for you?
Yes. Well, let me say this. I'm here now. But when you come into our office, between Jen, Brenda, and I, and Nina, we want you to feel comfortable, because I know the IRS is very intimidating. Because you see IRS, and then you see a year, and you're like, oh my God. And we help people work through it. We also do some bookkeeping, accounting, different things like that. We do doc prep. So I've been downtown now for about 13 years and counting. I enjoy being downtown. I was downtown before when downtown wasn't sexy. And I enjoy what I do. Now with the tax show, it's just talking to people about a different, because we don't approach tax from, you got to do this, you got to do that. No, let's talk about it, because behaviors,
Habits.
people that don't, when you get a large tax bill, they look at me like, how did it get there? Well, let's talk about what happened during the year. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what we can do differently moving forward. And let's build a relationship so that we can make sure you don't get back here again. And what we find is, once people come into our office, in a couple of years, if they're not homeowners, they're homeowners. If they're not business owners, they're starting businesses. But we try to dig in, because we want clients that are long lasting. I tell people, I don't do one night stands. We do long-term relationships. And I enjoy what I do. That's what I do most of the time. I'm also a member of a sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I am a soror. We do a lot of community service. I do a lot of community service stuff. My son, I got him a little bit. He just became a top teen. So I am very active, very involved. I volunteer all day. So when they doing crazy stuff, stuff at night, I'm home asleep. We go to the bowling alley though, and the skating rink.
Safe places.
Well, you want to know what though? I was concerned that at the skating ring, when you have to walk through the metal detector at first, but now I'm like, you want to know what? We probably need a metal detector at the bowling alley.
Everywhere.
At church.
I need one in my purse.
Everywhere.
Just to discourage people. But that's a little bit about me. I would love to have you ladies on a radio show with me, and we can have a conversation, because we're on KUNV, KCEP, and we talk about real life things. We promote entrepreneurism and stuff like that. We want to get the word out to people and let people know, we're everyday people, but we're just doing some things in and around town. And I like to connect people too. So if I know you need something and I know this person has it, I'm going to connect you.
Do you do preventive
we do
accounting?
So we do,
because I have a small business, and I just want everything to go well.
Well, see, the thing about it is, so that's planning, right? And I tell people, if you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Real easy. And that's one of the services that we do offer for small businesses to come in, and we look at the bookkeeping. We'll put you on QuickBooks or whatever platform you want to be on. And I'm an accountant by trade, so I understand the numbers. I understand financial statements. And when people are asking you for things, I know what it means. Like, nope, they're asking you for this, and this. And they're like, huh? I'm like, look, just give me a few minutes or a couple days, and we're gonna work it. We'll work it out. And I want you to understand your business, because you can be successful in business. And I can also give you a resource, because we're getting ready to do a big program with Alpha Kappa Alpha, where we're going to the Theta Omega chapter. We're going to walk women through starting a business. Step by step. It's going
Oh,
to be a
that's
course
gonna
that
be
we're going to do.
nice.
Oh yeah, we're going. Oh yeah, our next platform, we small business owners, are women business owners is one of our focuses. So we are going to work some women business owners in the next couple of years. We're going to help them start businesses, and we're going to teach them about business, because a lot of times we just don't know, right? You set something up and don't know what the requirements are,
or how to get ahead in that, in like Las Vegas, the Nevada area, recidivism prevention. You know, I'm passionate about that.
Okay,
passionate about
the rate of recidivism. Woo.
Yes, but you don't have anyone here that's really, that I know of. There's one agency and it's owned by a gentleman. Yeah. So he's yes, he's the only one that I know that's really just out there.
I know people in pockets that are helping people
here and there,
but they're not.
That knows someone to get them a job, someone get them a place to stay. But what about you pool all these resources?
So the thing about it is that when you talk about the rate of recidivism, who does that benefit, right? That's the first thing. And then you talk about the funding, because when you're talking about stuff like that, you're going to talk about the funding. And because I know a bunch of felons. Know a bunch of them. Love them dearly. I mean, things happen in their lives. A very good friend of mine is in Chicago. He has ECCSC. Shouts out to Tyrone Muhammad, if you ever see it. That's Tyrone's passion.
Yes.
And Tyrone is talking about coming to Vegas and doing something, because he's like, look here, I know you, if you did your crime, you did your time, that should be it. Yeah. How do we move forward
and stop? But you know, that's the problem. They don't move forward because they're stuck. They don't have the resources that they need in order to get them that job that's going to get them that apartment. So the next thing they do, they turn back to their old ways. They go out,
that's why it's the rate of recidivism. But that's the rate of recidivism. But we talk about that. But we talk about, like, have a very good friend that came home. She was women's prison. So she was talking. She was and we got to bring her on here, because you would love to talk to her and to talk about that, because her passion is women. Because with women, when they come home, sometimes they don't have driver's licenses, they don't have birth certificates, they don't have social security cards. I mean, and I'm like, well, you can get all this stuff because you got all that information.
But where's there a place that they can go, they can get all that?
Well, the thing about it is that you have them there in the facility. When they walk out the facility, they don't have to have a driver's license, but they can have an ID card. They can have a social security card. They can have a birth certificate.
So, Bobby, me being in that realm, I always hear people say, one person says they don't have resources, and the other person says, where are the resources? But no one asks the person who is actually in need of the services, what is preventing you from getting them? And what I find, because I deal with the coaching aspect of it, is the lack of trust and the judgment and the judgment, and the disrespect, and them talking down to you. So I'm thinking maybe we could all come together and figure out how to help people who need help, because if you have the resources and they're not getting it, there's a disconnect. So what is that disconnect? To me, it's the lack of trust. We have to treat people like people.
To me, it's Trist getting up and running.
Well, I love that. And I think that you do talk to the population to see what the population needs, right? And then the reality of it is Vegas is changing. So Vegas is not the town anymore where, and I was having this conversation with at another event with an older woman. She was like, before, you could make $30,000 in Vegas and you could buy yourself a house.
Yeah.
Now making $30,000 in Vegas, you can't rent an apartment.
You can't live in a...
You wanted us to talk about knowledge is power. And is knowledge power? And take a look at people or things around us that affect the community as a whole. That's my perspective. That's what I wanted to touch on.
Okay.
And how someone had access to something, but they could have done better with it.
Okay.
So I did some research and I was like, well, we can all do better. I can do better. Who am I to point fingers at someone or say, oh, you can do better or you can do better? Because we can all do better. I know I need so much self-improvement. But when I was looking for articles to speak on, one article really caught my eye, and I thought it would be perfect because it's a perfect segue into what I do for a living, as being a community advocate, working with homeless, working with low income, and trying to make people feel like they are a part of and give them an avenue to a better life through utilizing community resources. And no one is giving me anything. When I'm doing job readiness, when I'm doing Dress for Success, when I'm doing coaching, when I'm doing counseling sessions for the homeless shelter, those are things that I do out of the love of my heart. No one is giving me funding. No one is giving me money to go and do these things. These are things that I do because I love people. And as I said earlier, I'm always for the underdog, and I want to make sure that everybody is given an equal opportunity. And something that this person said that resonated with me is that the American dream is different for everybody, but gravity is always the same, and hard work pays off. And this guy, he's Van Jones. He's a correspondent for CNN. And Van got like hundreds of thousands of dollars from Jeff Bezos to go through a dream.org organization, which one of his one of the nonprofits focused on criminal justice reform. One of the nonprofits focused on coding, for teaching young people how to do coding and sponsoring them and giving them the education that they needed. And under that umbrella was a Go Green initiative. Well, he got ousted out of his own position at the dream.org, which was for the criminal justice reform. Now, mind you, he was the CEO for Jay-Z's Reform Alliance, the CEO, which they're doing very, very well with criminal justice reform. But the fact is, the money part of it, I felt like he could have done better with that by making a strong infrastructure for that organization. Instead of people losing their jobs, people aren't getting the training that they're needing. They are not advocating for criminal justice reform the way that they were in the past, even though when he was with the Trump administration, how he was working with that administration and getting a lot of legislation passed. And I look at myself and I say, what could I have done with just a piece of that donation?
Money.
Not so much as the money, but the backing. How many lives could I have touched just given a platform of being able to help other people? And now you have people that are all on social media and they're making comments. And, you know, this guy he's a political pundit. You know, he has worked in the Trump administration. He's worked with the Obama administration. This brother is great. Kim Kardashian was after him. But who am I to talk about him and say he could have done better? But I'm just saying that we as people, some of us don't have access to the things that other people have. And he has a lot of knowledge and he has a lot of power. So my question that I want to pose to you ladies is, sometimes is having all that knowledge and power, is it good? Is it fair if you're not doing the right thing with it?
As we close the show out, please keep in mind we are looking for positive artists who would like to have a live feature performance to end my show every week. I'm a lover of all things music, and I really would love to showcase you and give you a platform to do your thing. You can be a Christian artist or a secular artist, but we just need music with some substance and positivity. If you're interested, you can email us at foodforthessoulpresents@gmail.com for more information, or you can inbox us on FB, and you could be our next guest, you guys. Hey, y'all. Hey, what is up this Good Friday? You see me in a different light in the studio today because I got a special treat for you this evening. Some of you know, and some of you may not know, that I used to be in a gospel singing group. And I felt like I wanted to open up with this song. I used to sing it with a group of mine, IAM Praise, back in Dallas, Texas. So shout out to you guys, Lyle, Cornelius, Charmaine, Tree, Jakima, and Little Moni. And I am not a singer, but I sing. So I'm ready. Let's go. Clap your hands.
Rejoice and sing. You are Lord of everything.
Say, I will
bless the Lord.
Say, bless the Lord.
Bless the Lord at all times.
Say it again, I will
bless the Lord.
Say, bless the Lord.
Bless the Lord at all times.
Come on, y'all. For the Lord our God is great.
For the Lord our God is great.
He's perfect, Lord, in all his ways.
Perfect, Lord, in all your ways.
God of mercy, Lord of grace.
Lord of grace.
He's Holy One, Ancient of Days.
Holy One, Ancient of Days.
Say, I will
bless the Lord.
Say, bless the Lord.
Bless the Lord at all times.
Say it again, I will
bless the Lord.
Say, bless the Lord.
Bless the Lord at all times.
Say, bless the Lord, oh my soul and all that's within me. Bless his name. Say, bless the Lord.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul and all
That's within me. Bless his name. All right, y'all, here we go. When I'm lost and all alone, feeling like my strength is gone, with no friend to call my own, and no one to call on the phone, I will lift my hands and bless his precious name, 'cause he's always been there, and he promised he never change. Tears streaming down my face, I put on the garment of praise, 'cause my ways are not his ways, and my thoughts will soon fade away. I will sing the song of the Lord and bless him even more. The one I'm living for, he's the one I adore. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all day and evening, 'cause I know I got a reason to give him all the glory, to give him all the praise. When I'm in my sins, he washed them all away. One glad morning, when this life is over, I'm gonna put on my wings and I'm gonna tell the story of how he brought me out to bring me in. He's been right there through thick and through thin. You don't know, 'cause you weren't there, but God snatched me out of the enemy's hands. He changed my walk, he changed my talk, he changed my mind, he saved my life. Can't nobody do me like Jesus. Can't nobody love me like the Lord can. He brought me out to bring me in. He knows what's best for me, what's best for me in the end. I thought about something else, how he loved me when I didn't love myself, when I felt like throwing in the towel. He made a way for me somehow. So I'm standing here today only because of his grace. His love has filled the space that once was an empty place. He has done great things.
for me, so I will.
He keeps holding me.
He has done great things for me, so I will.
He keeps loving me.
He has done great things for me, so I will.
He keeps giving to me.
He has done great things for me, so I will.
He has done great things for me. 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 He has done great things for me.
So I will
Bless the Lord. Bless the Lord. Hallelujah. You guys make sure to tune in every Friday to the IAM Talitha Cumi show at 7:30 p.m. on our FB page and YouTube station, Food for the Soul Media Group, or Vegas Hype Media, and tell your people. Catch the Rewind show every Wednesday, same time, 7:30 p.m. on our YouTube station. And don't forget to follow me on all of my social media platforms, IAM Talitha Cumi and Food for the Soul Media Group. And follow my girls at Solid Truth LV and at Follow the Fro. at K2 Unique, and I have you at Pearlonomics. Is that right?
Pearlonomics.
Yes,
and
that
Crawford
part.
MG and the Tax Boutique.
Yes, all of those. Follow Miss Leah on that. Our show tonight has been sponsored in part by Olay Worldwide, Big Bobby B Beats, Crisp Products, Eccentric Soul Films, Miss Love Doctor-Tasha Keyzz, K Griffiths LLC, Solid Truth, and make sure you follow the Fro on her social media platforms, and Mizzy Deep and 8 Deep Enterprises, Leaha Crawford, and Let's Talk. That's your show. Let's Talk, right? Let's Talk. So catch her show with her and Rhonda and the Crawford Management Group. Yes. And we will see you guys later. Peace.
Bye. Bye.